This is Devin Croswell with Sherpa Design, and we're going to take a quick look at a brand new option in NX 2506 for the point set command. So the point set command is going to be on the curve tab when I'm in Design Center Modeling. Under the point pull down, we have point set. So this just creates a set of points, as it says, using existing geometry. When I jump into that dialog, this command, got some different ways to add points to curves and space. And under the subtype, we have a new option called set of points on curve. So this will allow me to create sets of points with an initial offset distance, some number of points in the set, and spacing between the points that are in this set. So if I switch to this option, dialog changes down here, set of points on curve definition. And I can have a starting offset or none, which is going to be the default. Or here I can add in a starting offset value or some equal to the pitch. We can also add points using count and pitch, or simply just count or pitch. So we have some different options there, and then depending on that I can enter in those values. But if I select a curve, here we have 2 points, one at the starting position with no offset, and then another one with a pitch of 3 inches along that curve. And once I add one, I can add additional sets of curves or points along curves in this dialog. So I can add in a new set, and it'll take up the length of what's left that isn't being taken up by the other one. And I can also set that to, let's say I have an offset distance of 1 from where that other set ended. And then the count and pitch, maybe that can be the same. And I can add an additional set and go from there. And this just helps me add multiple points along a line really quickly. So for example, I have this formed block, this extrusion here, and let's say I want to add some points in different spots with a little bit of specificity, and I want to do that because I have an option in my edge blend tool for variable radius, and I can add different radius points along the curve. And so this just helps me quickly do that so that I can then add a bunch of points without trying to do that on the fly necessarily. So I can put those in place ahead of time. In order to add a blend along the, let's say the top edge here, I want to have a rounded nose on this, just so I can add that detailed blend. And I'm going to add a blend to the front of this. So we'll grab these 2 front corners. And I can pull this to make sure this is a rounded front, but looks like about 2.5 would get it so that they're flowing tangentially into each other. But another thing I can do with this is where I'm adding in the value for radius, I can use this pull down where I can add in that value and then pull an actual reference from a feature. So I'm pulling this parameter reference from this extrusion. There's a parameter 1, P1 value there that I can grab for both side distance, and then that becomes the radius value for creating the front of this part. So once I do that, I have my top tangent curve group, and I'm going to add some points along that. So I'll go ahead and refresh this and then change to set of points on curve, change my selection intent to tangent curves. Let's say I want to just simply add a count. This will allow me to add a group along the entire curve, kind of evenly spaced. We have other options that allow us to do that. So in order to get the most out of this, I probably do want to start with count and pitch. Another nice option in this is that it tells me the remaining length of my curve that I'm adding points to. But let's say we want this to start off with 1, a group of 5. And I can add in an offset of 2 from that other one. let's say this is a group of 4, and the spacing is 1.5 this time. I can add another group. Let's say the spacing is 1.5, go up to 7, and 2, kind of fill that in a little bit more. The length left, maybe I can calculate that in to make sure I end out at the final point there. Or maybe I just say, let's go equal to pitch. Hit apply. I've got maybe the points that I want to use to control the edge blend. So in this case, I can refresh that, go to variable radius, and after I select my edge, that is, and then under variable radius, I can highlight, specify those radius points, and I can put all these points on this list. I might want to turn off my snap option so that I'm just picking up existing points, just making that a little bit easier to grab those, but then I can go along. A little hard to see, these colors are the same here, but I can just go along and pick up these points, start adding them to this. And I can change the value at each one of these points, and maybe that's important with how the design for this formed block, whatever the final product of this is. I'm smoothing this out. It starts getting a little bit bigger at the front or something. Start pulling this around so that I can see what I'm doing. And then say it gets small there, and then big again at the end here. Pull that almost to the bottom. So I'm just creating a long list of variable radius values, and I'm able to do that really quickly with adding in that point set. So on the curve tab, we have that point set tool that allows us a curve points by set of points on curve, and this is a new enhanced option in NX 2506.